Good afternoon. Today is Tuesday. It is 10th of February, I think. I can't remember. Anyway, I know it's a Tuesday. You can see I'm in the garden today because, listen folks, my brain is literally firing on all cylinders, in the sense that so many sparks are going off of connecting dots that I wasn't even able to share a video yesterday, because literally, having read something from a scientist, a physicist called Dr. David Clements, and listening to, he's a theoretical physicist, but actually turned quantum physicist, studying, I don't even want to go there, but it's connecting the dots, and I'm going to share that with you in time. You know, everything I want to share with you, by the time it comes to sharing it, I'm literally, 5 chapters down looking at something else. So I needed a little break today, and I know I want to just let's have a look at the garden, shall we? Let's just look at the garden. Let me turn this around. I'm not going to be in the garden much this year because I don't aim to be in the UK all year this year. Anyway, do you remember those bulbs I had planted? Well, here they are. They're all coming up nicely, even though several times cats have gone in and dug up, and squirrels. I have managed to redeem them, and they're coming up. And it's looking pretty good. So I'm waiting for the sun to come out so that we see some colour shoot out. Got some more here, and there's weeds. The grass is in a mess, as you would expect, but there's irises coming out, more coming out over here, and so on. But it is all a bit of a mess. I don't mind. If you look here, where I had the wildflower patch, the wildflowers have gone. You can see I've kind of left the dead bits in. I've pulled them out. Oh look, pulled it out. But all the bulbs from last spring are coming up. I didn't take them out, and they're all there, and they're all coming up. They're tulips. They're going to look lovely. Remember the garlic I put in November, I think it was? Well, they're looking all right. I know they are a little bit well, maybe they're meant to look like that. I don't think I need to harvest them until tastes like garlic. It's really nice, but I won't harvest them until later in the year. Oh, it's such a cold day today. It's horrible. The sky is literally down here. Those mustard greens I took out the greenhouse and planted. Look, they're really doing well. And we've had a frost, we've had sleet, we've had snow, and they've survived. It's amazing. Even in these pots, you've got to be patient. Even in these pots, the tulips are all, can you see the tulips? All coming up. There's more garlic here. There's 2 in this one. So I've made use of the winter time, and garlic again, and then there's onions here coming up as well. I've labelled everything, as you can see. Yeah. I finished all the leeks have gone. And in the greenhouse, I tell you, these mustard greens are doing very well. And 2 types here. These ones, actually, I think I can actually transplant them in March or April out into the garden. And see how ideas are coming to me. Given that I'm not going to be around much, I'd like to cover the soil with kind of hardy greens and vegetables that I can just pick when I come back, wherever I go. So it's going to be the mustard greens. They're going to be in probably shady areas because they seem to like the cold weather. And I'll have lots of herbs, onions. I'm not going to do potatoes this year. Tomatoes. Let's see, I might do potatoes, but earthing them up and all of that. It's minimum amount of work. I've got plenty of compost. Plenty of compost under here. Loads of it. And a new lot of compost being built here. So And the other thing I'm going to do this year is just throw a whole load of wildflower seeds down the centre along there like that. So I'll just kind of dig that little bit and just throw wildlife seeds. So literally I'm just going to have all these wildflower seeds growing all along here, just to turn it into a nature kind of habitat area. That's the garden. Honestly, it's so miserable. I don't know, those of you in the UK, it's been the worst winter ever in my opinion, because we've not had the blue skies, and they've been throwing all this stuff down through the skies. We know that, geoengineering. Breathing is difficult, hypoxia, you know, not getting enough oxygen into our lungs. And now with the knowledge on quantum biology and the mitochondria, it's just blowing my mind. On that note, I've actually bought Jack Kruse's only book that he's got, which is Epipaleo RX, and I'm going to read this avidly. The Prescription for Disease Reversal for Optimal Health. Now, I know what's in the book because I've listened to nearly all of his podcasts and read a lot of his blogs on his Patreon page. So I know that the book is invaluable, and I'm actually going to hand the book to my son when I visit him, because I think, you know, I'm going to read it first and then hand it and highlight certain areas in it which I think would be very useful for him, see if he wants it. You can't force people to do better with their health. You can't, because unless they learn for themselves or something knocks them hard, most people don't change. Something I wanted to read out to you. The difference between fact and fiction is that fiction has to make sense. The other thing I want to show you with these glasses, I'm going to put them on after doing extensive reading on blue light and on blocking out the blue light, which involves these LED lights, light emitting diodes, and also the screen, which I'm using a lot lately. These are just clip-ons. See, I can do that and it comes up. You can actually buy the glasses, but because these are prescription glasses, weak prescription, not strong, I bought these clip-ons just to see how I get on and if they work, and they work really well. It has made a difference. It looks crazy, but I'm in the house. I'm not out and about. I wouldn't go down the high street wearing these glasses, but very handy in the house. And I can tell you, if you all did your homework on what non-native blue light does to the brain and to the body and how it causes disease. I mean, did you know that type 2 diabetes, if you were to ask the quantum biologist, Dr. Jack Kruse, what the solution is, this is what he said. This is actually what he said on his X account. I love it. And I know it's correct because I've done the research and read it. And what he said was, somebody asked, what's the alternative to metformin? Metformin, what they take for type 2? He said it's very simple. Connect your eyes to the morning sunlight and make sure you sleep in absolute darkness. Because diabetes, as I mentioned in my last week's video, is a disease of the eye. And it's the ability of the cornea to absorb a certain rays, UV rays of light, and infrared A light, which sets about the melatonin. But not only does it actually start the whole process of melatonin being produced in the body for later on in the evening, but it's how the melanin works in our skin, if we have any. When you're absorbing the light through the eye, it sets about a whole chemical chain reaction with the body, and that has a huge effect on blood sugar. Of course, when you're looking at the screen all day, your blood sugar's going up. I'm repeating that. Did you know that? When you go and work out in the gym, your blood sugar's going up. Clever that, isn't it? There's so many things we're not told. And there's so many things I just want to read out and explain to you. but I'm giving you so many clues that you can then go ahead and do your own research and start recognizing that actually health must be seen from a quantum perspective, which is from a perspective that is not structured, that is not mechanical, because mechanical and structured thinking, which is what mainstream physics is, has been the greatest fraud in recent history and today's times. And we are birthing now, we've already birthed the understanding of life, of biology and physics on a quantum level, even breathing, quantum breathing, which is not breathing through your lungs. It's actually breathing through the gut and that's slowly going up through the body, through the heart and the lungs, right up, and then holding it there. It's called that particular single point, and then breathing out, so that it could take 30 seconds for one in and out breath. But how many of us know how to breathe properly? And the slower we breathe and the fuller we breathe, the longer we live. If you study the quantum physics and biology behind it, it'll blow your mind. Even diseases, together with working with the sun and the sunset, that's sun gazing at those times, and the breathing, can rid yourself of all disease so much. But you have to bear in mind, of course, it depends on the level of health you're suffering now. I would say we're all suffering poor health. I know I am, and I think I'm in good health, but when I compare it to what real health is, no, I'm not. And of course, it's got nothing to do, well, it's all external, isn't it? It's all epigenetics, which is beyond genetics, which is all concerned with the environment. So it really is a case of changing the environment we live in. If we have a choice, well, it's a no-brainer. For those people who really have no choice, they can still do lots of things in their own home to change their environment. And when you understand energy fields and certain types of structures that you can create or you can buy by inventors that have created them to ensure that certain negative electromagnetic fields are kept away and kept at bay from your home, you can invest in those. I'm going to be doing that anyway, now that I understand how it works. I don't believe things I read. I read for years, and then I make sense and I think, you know what? Yep, now I get it. And I'm going to get A, B, and C. Well, I've got to understand it first. So I'm not really making huge coherent sense in today's video because my mind needs to assimilate all the information that I've learned. Let me just show you. I made a really lovely chicken yakhni bone broth today, and I just put it in this morning. And see, look how clear it is. Let me just switch on this light. Look how beautifully clear the liquid is. Isn't it gorgeous? And it's been cooking all day. And I'm probably going to give the chicken bits to to my cat. And I'm just going to drink the liquid. Heat it up and just drink that liquid. It's going to be absolutely delicious. I can feel something coming on. So before it does, get that garlic and ginger and that collagen. The collagen holds a lot of light. That's a boiler, very old boiler chicken that was in the freezer. So it's not one of these caged nonsense chickens. It's an old one that's been kept on a farm somewhere. And I'm going to have some of that. Anyway, that's it for today. I just wanted to touch base Next week, hopefully I'll have a little bit more substance on my Monday video. Have a lovely afternoon.